we go, folks. Once again, I want to start over here on this side right here, because on last week we talked about adding and subtracting of fractions with a common denominator. That is what our ultimate goal is to have a common denominator. As you can see right here, as long as the denominator is the same, okay? Common, okay? Common, the same. They are synonyms. Both of them are synonyms. And so what we do is we circle here. This is an 8, and that is an 8. And that's what we want to do. As long as our denominators are the same, we just either add or subtract. The thing I messed up earlier today in school is I put the wrong sign. So that's why I want to go back and make sure that you circle your sign. And I'm simply going to come here and put my 8. And I put a line because right now that line divides my numerator and my denominator. And so right now I add 5 plus 2, and that gives me 7. So that's all we're doing. Okay, as long as your denominators are the same, all you have to do is add the numerator. All right, got 2 more problems with this, and then we're going to switch over just a little bit. Three ninths minus 1/9. When you add or subtract fractions, we're subtracting this time. You find the least common what denominator, okay? Now, what a common denominator simply means both the denominators in the problems in the fractions that you're subtracting the problem have to be the same. So I have a 9 and I have a 9. They are the same. Since they are both the same, guess what, folks? All we have to do is we can add or subtract. In this case, what have I circled? I've circled the subtraction sign. So I'm going to bring my 9 down. And 3 minus 1 leaves us with 2. So my final answer here is going to be 2/9. Questions or concerns? Questions or concerns? This is the easy part right here. Once you get it, like you get like denominators, things are so much easier. Let me do one more. Then I'm going to go to the next step. I'm going to do one more for you, then go to the next step. For those that are watching and writing things down, very simple. I have 8/12 plus 3/12. Once again, what am I looking at? I'm looking at my denominators. I've circled my denominators. Both of my denominators are now the same. Both of my denominators are now the same. Since both of my denominators are the same, guess what I'm going to do? I'm just going to bring it down. And so now I have my top 2 numbers, which is called my numerators. I'm going to add my numerators, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11/12. Questions or concerns with that? I want to take one more step before we get into unlike denominators. Okay? Now, right now I want to go ahead and talk about the GCF real quick. The GCF. GCF. GCF stands for the greatest common factor. Greatest common factor. Mr. Jones, what's a factor? I sing a little tune that goes, factor times a factor equals a multiple or product. Factor times a factor equals a multiple or product. What that simply means is this. Factor, F-A-C-T-O-R, times a F-A-C-T-O-R equals a multiple, okay, M-U-L-T-I-P-L-E, or product. Okay? The multiple or product is the answer to a multiplication problem. A factor and a factor is what is multiplied. Okay? I'm going to do it with my favorite multiplication fact. Okay? Now, so Mr. Jones, you got a favorite multiplication fact? Yes, I do. My favorite multiplication fact is 8 times 7 is 56. That is my favorite multiplication fact. Why? Because I love this. 5, 6, 7, 8. Or you can go backwards. 8, 7, 6, 5. Something that's weird, I like it. But that's Mr. Jones right there. But check this out. My first factor is 8 times 7. Okay? So factor times a factor. Factor times a factor. Okay? Equals. Okay? This is now an equation. When you have an equal sign, we now have an equation. Okay? Multiple or product. Okay? Okay? Multiple or product. Okay? Multiple product is 56. Okay? Now, when we talked about the greatest common factor, don't forget, common means the same. Okay? Greatest, we put the biggest. Questions or comments about this right now? Greatest common factor means the biggest, the same factor. Okay? And I want to show you how we deal with that. Because why I'm showing you this now, because some cases you're going to have to simplify or reduce your fraction. Depends on how your teacher calls it. So right now we got a greatest common factor. Okay, and what I'm going to have the numbers 24 and 36. 24 and 36. So my question to you, I'm going to need your help in the chat right now. I want to take 1 minute and help me out real quick. What times what gives me 24? What times what gives me 24? I'm going to look at the clock real quick, and I'm going to give you 30 seconds and begin now. What times what gives us 24? 20 seconds. Put it in the chat for me, please. What times what gives me 24? Okay, 24 is now the multiple. What factors is going to give us 24? 10 seconds. Continue. Keep putting them in the chat. I see you. Keep putting them in the chat. 5 seconds. All right, here we go. 1 times 24. Okay. Another one will be 2 times 12. Another one, 3 times 8. Okay. Notice these are going in order and these are going down. Then I have 4 times 6. Now, I can't do 5s because the closest there would be 25. And that would be 5 times 5. And that is going way, way over. So my next one would be 6 times 4. Notice this is what we call, this is the turnaround of it. Okay? And that's okay. That is okay. So what I'm going to do here is cross it out. Now, is this wrong? No, that's not wrong at all. That's perfect right there. Okay? So what gives us 24? 1 times 24. 2 times 12. 3 times 8. 4 times 6. Okay? Great job up there. I saw some of those up there. All right, now we'll give you another 30 seconds and tell me what times what gives us 36. What times what gives us 36? 30 seconds looking at the clock and go. 15 seconds. Ten seconds. What times what gives us 36? What times what gives us 36? 5 seconds. All right, here we go. 1 times 36. Somebody said that. 2 times, I don't know. 2 times what? Let me double check this. Should be 18. 18 times 2. Yep. I just like to check myself sometimes. All right. 3 times 12. Let me double check myself. 12 times 3. 36. 4 times 9. Can't do 5. And then finally 6 times 6. And that will be the last one. So what are the factors? Looking at the factors, 36 is the multiple in this case. Why? Because 36 is the answer. What 2 factors give us 36? 1 and 36. 2 and 18. 3 and 12. 4 and 9. 6 and 6. Okay? So now, what I want to do is I want to put this in what we call a graphic organizer. I'm going to put this in a graphic organizer. Okay? Depends on who your teacher is. Depending on what state you're in, people do different things. What I want to do is this thing called the big F. I call it the big F. Watch this. All this is nothing fancy. This is all, it's all a graphic organizer. And I like the big F because we're talking about the factor. Because we're talking about a factor. So what I'm going to do here, first we had was 24. And then our other one would be 36. And down here at the bottom, we're going to put the G, the C, and the F. All I did here, I started up here with my 24 on the top line of the F. The second line of the F, we put a 36. And then at the bottom, the GCF, we're going to find here. So our goal is this. What gave us 24? 1 and 24. 2 and 12. 3 and 8. 4 and 6. So all we did was just put them in order. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 8, 12, then 24. That just helps out when we take a look at the order. So check this out. Now we want to do here at the bottom. What gave us 36? 1 and 36. 2 and 18. 3 and 12. 4 and 9. And I'm going to squeeze that 6 in there. I'm going to fix that a little bit. 3, 4, 6, 9, 12, 18, 36. 36, 18, 12, 9, 6, 4, 3. Yes, there we go right there. Now, what are you doing, Mr. Jones? Now, I want to find the common factors first. I want to find the common factors first. By finding my common factors, I notice they both have a 1. connect them. They both have a 2, connect them. They both have a 3, connect them. They both have a 4, connect them. They both have a 6, connect them. That's why I lined them up this way, okay? This is an F, this is the big F. They both have an 8, no, cross it out. They both have a 12, yes, connect them. They both have a 24, no. Is there an 18 up here? No. Is there a 36 up here? No. Is there a 9 up here? No. So out of the numbers that we have that are connected, which one is the biggest? Which one is the biggest? Which one is the biggest? And if we look up here, the biggest happens to be the 12. Okay, this is our big F right here. Mr. Jones, why did you show us all of that? I want to show you why I showed you all of that. Because sometimes when you add or subtract fractions, you're going to get a big number like this, 24 over 36. Okay, 24 over 36. And we want to see, can we, what we call simplify or reduce this. We can either simplify or reduce this. And so in order to check it to make sure this is when we use our greatest common factor. And of course, our greatest common factor is going to be 12. So now when I use my F, I'm going to divide. So that's 24 divided by 12. Whatever I do to the denominator, I have to do to the numerator in between. Whatever I do to the numerator, I have to do to the denominator. So both of him, I'm dividing 12 by both. All I'm doing is making an equivalent fraction, okay? I'm just making it with smaller numbers. I'm reducing it. I'm simplifying it. So 24 divided by 12 is going to be 2. It's right here, folks, because 2 times 12 is 24. And these are our simple kind. They're not our pick and choose charts like we use, but they're charts, okay? And 36 divided by 12. 3. Why? Because 3 times 12 is 36. Everything works together. I want to pause here real quick. Any questions or concerns? Any questions or concerns? And this is what you do to find your greatest common factor. And your greatest common factor helps you simplify your fractions. So we're going to try a couple of those real quick and see what we're going to use. So remember, when we talk about the greatest common factor, we're talking about the big F. All right, write this problem down with me. Watch this. I have a 9 here and I have a 9 here. So I'm going to bring my 9 down here because my denominators are the same. What's 8 plus 1? 9. Okay. Anytime that you have your 9 over a 9, when both your numerator and your denominator are the same, when your numerator and your denominator are the same, it's going to equal 1 whole. Anytime your numerator and your denominator are the same, it's going to equal 1 whole. And sometimes that's going to happen. Okay? Now, let me flip this around a little bit. I'm going to erase this. And I'm going to put a subtraction sign and see what happens this time. I keep my denominator as a 9. 8 minus 1 gives us a 7. I want to double check my GCF. I got a 7 and I got a 9. 1 times 7. Anything else gives me 7? Nope. What gives me 9? 1 times 9 and 3 times 3. Let's do my big F to check it. My 7 and my 9. What gave me here? 1 and a 7. What gives me it here? 1, 3, and 9. The only thing they have common is 1. If the only number they have in common is a 1, then guess what? It's going to stay the same. Questions or concerns? Questions or concerns? Write this one down for me. 6/12 plus 4/12. Once again, what am I doing? I am adding 6/12 plus 4/12. 6/12 plus 4/12. My denominators are the same. Put a 12 right there. And I have 6 plus 4, which will be 10. So my answer is 10/12. Now, I need your help real quick because we're going to check it with our GCF, which is our greatest common factor. All right, so I need to do my 10s and my 12. Can y'all help me out real quick? Help me out. If y'all don't mind, help me out real quick by putting that in the chat for me. What times what gives me 10? What times what gives me 10? 1 times 10 gives me 10. Yes. 2 times 5 gives me 10. Good. Can't do 3. Can't do 4. So the other one will be 5 times 2. And that's the turnaround. So that's how we know to stop. I crossed it out. It's not wrong. It's still the same thing. But when we get turnaround, we don't need to repeat it. So it'll be a 1, 2, 5, and a 10. And what times what gives me 12? 1 times 12. 2 times 6. 3 times 4. And yes, 4 times 3. Yep, that's another turnaround. So I can cross that out right there. Now, I'm going to make me a graphic organizer by way of the big F. And this is greatest common factor. Okay, because once again, our fraction turned out to be 10/12. So I'm going to put my big F up here. Ten up here. And my 12 right here. And all you got to do is fill it on in for me. What gives me 10? 1 and 10. 2 and 5. 1, 2, 5, and 10. All right, what gives me 12? 1 and 12. 2 and 6. 3 and 4. All right, let's check them real quick. Let's check them. Now we want to find what do they have in common. A 1 and a 1. Check. They both have a 2. Check. They don't have a 3 together. They don't have a 5 together. They don't have a 4 together. They don't have a 6 together. They have a 10 together. They don't have a 12 together. So guess what, folks? They have the greatest common factor here would be the 2. So now we go back to these numbers here, your 10 and your 12, and you divide both the numerator and the denominator by 2 to make what we call a reduced or a simplified fraction. 10 divided by 2 will give us 5. because 5 times 2 is 10. That comes back from over here. 5 times 2 is 10. And 12 divided by 2 is 6. Because 2 times 6 is what? 12. So our final answer is going to be that. Questions or concerns? Questions or concerns? All right. We're going to pause here real quick. We just finished talking about a greatest common factor. And I'm getting ready to take the next step. And I want to talk to you. So I just erased that. All right. We've talked about adding and subtracting of fractions with common denominators. Okay? Check. We've also talked about the GCF, which is called the greatest common factor. Check. We talked about how we solve for the greatest common factor by using the big F. Okay? So now I want to take the next step and look at a problem that has unlike denominators. What's going to happen if it has unlike denominators? Okay? So what we're going to do, you can put your questions in the chat because this is a little bit more difficult, okay? Because it involves several steps. So if you're taking notes, turn to a clean page in your notebook for me. Turn to a clean page in your notebook. And we're going to go here. 1/6 plus 1/9. 1/6 plus 1/9. 1/6 plus 1/9. Okay? Right now, there should be a bell going off in your head right now. Why? Because when you circle the 6 and you circle the 9, they are not the same. They are not the same. So guess what we have to do? We have to find a way to make them the same. We have to find a way to make them the same. And how do we make them the same, folks? Check this out. We have to find the least common multiple. We have to find the least common multiple, okay? When we find the factor, we do the big F. When we find the multiple, we use the big M, okay? So, but with the big M, it's nothing more than your pick and choose charts, okay? And I'm going to show you in just a second how we do that. But right now, the first thing you got to do is see you got a 6 and you got a 9. And I want to put an equal sign right here. Why am I putting an equal sign? Because we're going to find a equivalent fraction so they both have the same denominator. Okay? And I'm going to show you here, just here. Here we go. Now, with my 6's, okay, I need to do my 6's. And what I'm going to do is just my multiplication facts that give me a 6. Okay? Or my factor times a factor is going to equal the multiple of 6. Factor times a factor gives the multiple of 6. So we're going to go straight in order. All right. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's where I'm going to stop. Then I'm going to put an X that stands for multiplication. All I'm doing. And now I'm going to do repeated addition. And when I say repeated addition, all I'm going to be doing is keep adding on 6. Okay? That's all I'm doing. Nothing fancy. That's all a pick and choose chart is. I made 1 times 6 is going to be 6. Okay? Now, just me. You don't have to. You can count whatever your teacher shows you. But what I do is I use 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I count my fingers that way. I just use the little notches here. And so what I do, I already got 6. 1 times 6 is 6. What comes after 6? 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36. We saw 6 times 6 earlier, I do believe. Because we talked about 36. And a lot of numbers pop up the same. We'll come up to 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42. 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48. 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54. Okay, and this is the first side of my M. So when I say my big M, on this side of the M, I want to have one set, have my sixes over here. In the middle, we're going to put what's going to be common. In the middle, we're going to put what's going to be common. So we're going to go over here. Uh-oh. Am I okay doing this? So now we got our nines. All right, now with my nines, I'm going to do something a little bit different. I'm going to still go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Come back up here, put my X. That stands for multiplication. And then I want to put my nines. This 9 is a very interesting number. Put my equal sign here. Now, this is a very weird thing, okay? It's only for the nines, okay? You have to look at other patterns and numbers, but what I'm going to tell you right now is only in the nines. Watch this. I'm going to go 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, okay? And I'm going to start at the bottom, and I'm going to count up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1 times 9 is 9. 2 times 9 is 18. 3 times 9 is 27. 4 times 9 is 36. 5 times 9 is 45. 6 times 9 is 54. 7 times 9 is 63. 8 times 9 is 72. 9 times 9 is 81. It only works with the 9. It don't work with all numbers. It works with the 9s right here. All right. Now, what I'm doing now is I have to put here in the middle, okay, your common multiples. Common multiples, yes, because we just said in our little phrase or song, factor times a factor equals a multiple or product. Okay, so we want what are the common answers? What are the common products? The product is the answer to a multiplication fact. So let's look and see here. Is there a 6 over here? No. Is there a 12 over here? No. Is there an 18 over here? Yes. That's a common multiple. Is there a 24 over here? No. Is there a 30 over here? No. Is there a 36 over here? Yes. 18 and 36 are common multiples. Is there a 42 over here? No. Is there a 48 over here? No. Is there a 54 over here? Yes. So now my next step is, what are our common multiples? What are our common answers between the 6 and the 9? We circle the 18, we circle the 36, and we circle the 54. These are your common multiples, okay? Out of these three numbers, I just want to know which one is the least common multiple. Out of those three, which one is the least common multiple, okay? And if you said 18, guess what, folks? You are correct. You are correct. You are correct. Okay? So now that you have that in the middle right there, guess what, folks? Guess what? My new denominator. Okay? And what I like is this right here. I say LCM, okay, is the same thing as your least common denominator. Okay? Your least common multiple is your least common denominator. So this is what we're going to do right here. So this is now, our new denominator is going to be 18 and 18. Let me stop right there real quick. Questions or comments? Questions or comments? What I use, my big M is a graphic organizer. My big M is a graphic organizer. Over here, I did my pick and choose chart of my multiplication facts for 6. Over on this side, I did my multiplication facts for my 9. And in the middle, I looked at the answers. Which is called a product or a multiple. I saw that both of them had an 18, check. Both of them had a 36, check. Both of them had a 54, check. Now, next question is, which one is the least common number? And that was 18. So now my least common multiple now becomes my least common denominator. Woo, this is a lot of work. But guess what? We're almost there. Last thing, we want to turn into a equal fraction. So now the number here is 9 times what gives us 18? Your answer is right here. 9 times 2 is 18. So I'm going to multiply this times 2. Now, whatever you do to the bottom, you multiply times 2 at the bottom, you have to do at the top. Times 2. Okay? I also say whatever you do to your numerator, you have to do to your denominator. Whatever you do to your denominator, you have to do to your numerator when it comes to this right here. So now you just multiply across. 1 times 2 is 2. How you know that? It's right here. Oh, no, it's not my fault. 1 times 2 is 2. If you need to do it on our pick and choose chart, you could. All right, same thing up here. This is a totally separate from this up here. Now we got 6 times what is 18? 6 times 3. Whatever you do to your bottom number, you have to do to your top number. 1 times 3 is going to be 3/18. Before I solve it, questions or concerns? Questions or concerns? But like I said, feel free. Like I said, this is interactive. I'm actually live. I'm not recording right now. From 6 to 7, I am live. All right, and we come here like we did before. I bring my 18 down, and 3 plus 2 will be 5/18. And I'm going to double check here. What gives me 5? 1 times 5. What gives me 18? 1 times 18. 2 times 9. 3 times 6. No 4s, no 5s, and then we got 6. 1 and a 5. Nope, no 5s. All we got is 1, so this is going to stay the same. Because what I'm doing here, I'm doing my GCF. And that's how you put it all together. It's a lot of work. Hey, but I can guarantee you, if you follow this process, you'll get your stuff right. All right, any questions before I move to the next question or the next problem? I got my engineer in the back waiting for you. Okay, at least give me a thumbs up in the chat to make sure everybody's good to move on. Give me a thumbs up or say I'm good or something. Let me know that you're good. So I'm looking at the screen right now at comment. So at least tell me that you're good right now. Because our goal is to be interactive. All right, 2/6 plus 3/4. 2/6 plus 3/4. 2/6 plus 3/4. 2/6 plus 3/4. Write that on your paper for me, please. 2/6 plus 3/4. Okay? Once again, we're going to do our pick and choose charts for our 6s, and this time for our 4s. Notice what I'm doing. You stop at 9. Then you put your X in the middle. And this time we'll do our 6s again. This should be easy for you this time, or you can use your other chart. 6. 12. 18. 24. 30. 36. 42. 48. 54. Okay, I didn't count this time. You could have, but I showed you the 6s already. All right, and once again, we're looking for a answer. Looking at the answers here, because it's going to be a multiple or a product. So now I got my 4s. And what I call this my pick and choose chart. All right, we're looking at our answers right here. So let's take a look at the answers. Is there a 6 over here? No. Is there a 12 over here? Yes. Oh, I forgot my M. On this side of the M, you have this set of pick and choose charts. This is nothing but a graphic organizer. Over here, you have your other set of pick and choose charts. And right here in the middle, okay? And one of my goals is to find my least common multiple. Is there 18 over here? No. Is there a 24 over here? Yep. Is there a 30 over here? No. Is there a 36 over here? Yes. Is there a 42? No. Is there a 48? No. Is there a 54? No. So what are the common multiples? 24. 36 and 12. Okay, out of the 12, the 24, and the 36, which one is the smallest? Obviously, it's going to be the what? The 12. Questions or concerns? I'm dragging my feet tonight. And that's going to be a 12 here and a 12 here. Okay, because my least common multiple is also my least common denominator. My least common multiple is my least common denominator. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to start at the top this time. 6 times what is 12? We got it right here, 6 times 2. Whatever you do to the bottom, which is my denominator, you do to the top, which is my numerator. So that's times 2. 2 times 2 is 4. Four times what is 12? 4 times 3 is 12. Times 3. 3 times 3 is 9. My denominator is going to be 12. Now, 9 plus 4 is actually going to be 13. Don't get upset. This is still a fraction, but we call this a improper fraction. When the number on top when the numerator, the number on top is bigger, and the denominator is smaller, we call that a what? Improper fraction. Questions or concerns? Questions or concerns? In order to add or subtract fractions, you have to find the what? Least common denominator. Okay? And how do you find a least common denominator? By finding your least common multiple. That's it, folks. Okay? And I didn't do my GCF right here. I have to find a thing because, hey, we're good right here because it's an improper fraction for right now. All right, I'm going to pause for questions or concerns. I'm going to pause for questions and concerns. I got time for one more problem. Questions or concerns? All right, notice what we have going on here. We have unlike denominators. When we have unlike denominators, guess what we need to do? We have to find our least common multiple. And that is when we make our what? Our big M. So now I need to do my 12s. Okay, and my 3s. If you're taking notes, write this down with me. And I'm doing my equal sign here. Now, how do you do your 12? I can't do my 12. No, relax. This time you're going to hold up 4 fingers. It's the weirdest thing. I like counting with my fingers still. Check this out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. You're counting the notches in your fingers. Okay? So that's going to give us 1 times 1 was going to give us 12. The next thing we're going to have here is going to be, what comes after 12? 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. (25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36. 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48. I'm going to do the rest for us real quick. 72. Oops, I don't forget 12 times 7, y'all. So I always go back. If I forget what 12 times 7 is, I can go here. What comes after 72? 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79, 80, 81, 82, 83, 84. I'm not comfortable with that, so I'm going to go here. 7 times 2 is 14. Carry my 1, 7, 8. So you can either do it this way or you can count with your fingers. You have choices. 12 times 8. 16, carry 1, 8. That's 96. And 12 times 9. 108. There are many ways to solve your answers. Cool. Let me finish this up real quick. And what we're doing, I'm going to take the shortcut this time. 1 times 3, 2 times 3, 3 times 3, 4 times 3, 5 times 3. I'm going to stop right there. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. Okay? It's a little squeeze right here, but this is still my M. What is the common multiple they have? You just saw right there, it's 12. The first number that you get to will always be the least one. So in this case, 12 is the common multiple, and my LCM, least common multiple, is my least common denominator as well too. So watch this. This is something weird about to happen. Watch this. I'm excited about this. My common denominator is going to be 12. 2 times what gives us 12? 1 times 1, what you do to the bottom, you do to the top. 4 times 1 is 4. And right here we got 3 times what is 12? 3 times 4. What you do to the bottom, you do to the top. 1 times 4 is 4. 4 minus 4. Top number will be a 0. And you bring your number down here, which will be 12. And we're going to stop right there for tonight. Any final questions or comments? Any final questions or comments? First and foremost, I want to thank you all for joining us here today